you know, he came on an interview once and he's like, yeah, I think I have like 3 times the NP games I do as of any other hero.
Yeah.
That being said, it's also not that great of a game, I would say, compared to others that Speed has played this DPC season, for him to solo carry, right? Like, going for Orchid is going to be a little wishy-washy because you have to press the attack on Legion. So, you know, you can't expect to really get all those combos off super easily. You're going to be buying space for your TP, but, you know, you need to really buy a lot of space. They have decent wave clear as well. You brought up a lot of the magic damage that Hoodwink and Gyrocopter has, but even a Storm and LC definitely can clear waves as well as illusions. I tend to agree with you, though. I would give an edge to KBU here as far as how this game is going to be. I think this game is going to be going for them anyway.
We'll see. I mean, I agree with the NP antimization. I think his lane, though, is pretty good. Like, you have him and Clockwork. Him and Clockwork versus Gyrocopter and Luna. And when Gyrocopter gets played as 5, it's usually Homing Missile plus Rocket Barrage, 0 points of Flat Cannon. In fact, as a support, you actually go for stats over Flat Cannon most of the time. Maybe 1 point of Flat Cannon, that's it. Because it's good for stacking camps. And that's not good against MP, obviously. Rocket Barrage gets destroyed by Nature's Call, obviously being the Treants. The Homing Missile also gets destroyed easily by long-range NP. If he goes for Witchblade, Homing Missile also gets... it's even worse because obviously projectile speed is great against Homing Missile. Clockwork is great against Gyrocopter for some more reasons because he can hold the 1v1, which is usually where Gyrocopter excels. And he can also close the gap in a way that Gyrocopter does not expect, which is bad. So if they can take over this lane, and Speed just kind of has a really good early, from then on you could just have a strong NP that like gets gold out of ganking in the dangerous farm, because you'll have enough stats to be able to afford that, and that can open up the map well for TP.
Yeah. I think that's a good point, right? I think KBU, though, that they do have ways of hunting him pretty easily, right? Scurry into a Bushwhack, into a Blink on LC sounds like a really good way to catch an NP off guard, even if he is going to be TPing into these trees and taking this dangerous farm. And again, that's just why I think the game is going to be really hard for him. But you're right, he can create a lot of space. I guess the question that we're going to have to ask ourselves in about 20 minutes' time is it enough space for Murdoch to get his items online? Is he plenty farm? Both teams with a South American carry, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Murdoch from Brazil and Dad from Peru. You know. Both teams really repping true NA fashion, where it's teams full of immigrants, you know?
Love to see it. Love to see it.
KBU, truly the Mayflower of American Dota. As Dad is a guy that, like, whereas Murdoch is, I guess, somewhat known if you follow the SA scene. Right? He has had some success in big teams. Dad has not. Dad is actually more of a meme. I hate to call him that. He's like, in the South American scene, he's more known as this like really funny dude. All the players love him. He's not particularly known for being good at Dota, but he's known for being like funny and enjoyable to be around. And I was very surprised to see him on the team, but his performance on this team has actually been pretty good, mostly off the back of his Luna. But you know, it's nice as long as good people come into the scene, that no complaint there, right?
Yeah.
His reputation precedes him, and it's a really positive one, at least from what the players tell me.
I completely agree.
As someone already posted in chat, I see people going Papi Dad. That's what they call him. Everyone jokes in South America. They want Dad to be their manager, even though he's really responsible, because he all treats him like, you know, like he's a father figure to them. But more of the drunk father that comes home at 4 a.m. Not so much the father that you want to have, but still a father figure.
Do you think he started being the father figure after he chose his name, or after? Do you think, like, you know, it was one of those instances where you become a dentist because your name is like something like Mr. Pulley?
Oh,
know?
right. I never realized that. I actually never saw his name as Dad, I guess. Yeah. Thena, careful in the bottom lane. This will be first blood, and as I was talking about, Ziz can just trap him in the cogs, and this really crushes the Gyrocopter. I am not sure. That's a good question. I don't know if anyone in Peru has made that association, if I'm honest. As a Spanish speaker, I just thought it's, oh yeah, it's Dad.
No, I get that. You know,
but yeah, that makes sense.
Here's me mixing the languages. I mean, that's what I would go to, but I could also understand why that wouldn't be everyone's first assumption, quite reasonably.
Yeah, because most people in Peru don't speak English.
Yep,
right?
Top lane, they will be able to catch the squirrel. Albino Zebra and Murdoch close the gap. That's going to be the first activation here of the Metamorphosis at level 2, already used for a kill. Not too bad at all.
I see Zebra, huh? So I take it the Royals won in Chicago. I didn't know that.
The Royals usually beat the Sox, you know. What can you do?
Good one, Dad. Oh, what a body block by Speed. Nice job. Like I said, this lane bottom, it's just strong. It's a good lane. I'm glad they're abusing it. If I can elaborate a bit more on the Gyrocopter, the problem Gyrocopter has is his
Top lane?
like his base stats.
Oh, Murdoch able to live. Sorry, go ahead.
His base stats are actually really good. People underestimate how much armor Jericho does at level 1. It's great to trade and stuff, and he's great against melee supports. But when the melee support has magic damage predominantly, as is the case with the Clockwork, they have also good stats, and especially if they can close the gap, you lose all your advantage because your base attack damage is pretty bad, so you can't actually trade if they're nearby, right? You can tank one hit, then walk away, threaten them with Rocket Barrage, and kill them. Clockwork kind of nullifies that completely, and so does NP, who also has high base damage and good stats. So Gyrocopter in this lane feels pretty bad. And usually you pick this hero because the lane is actually kind of decent. That's part of the strength of the Gyrocopter 5.
Speaking of decent lanes, Annihilate off to a pretty good start here. 22-8 to the 22-4. A little bit more now for Oklahoma. As there's a kill down bottom. A couple of kills down bottom, actually, as the supports will be traded away to their cores. Lots of sparring here. But the one thing I wanted to point out here mid was that Annihilate has had a small camped blocked. He's got a sentry now, but he did scout Oklahoma, putting down this observer ward, so I'm not sure what he's going to want to go for. Will he take the guaranteed gold, or will he take a little bit more income for the next minute?
This is the ultimate issue for a mid laner, or for any sort of core, right? Like, not foregoing guaranteed gold just hurts.
Oh, and actually... Well, hold on.
He doesn't
here.
have 6.
Yeah, Annihilate is in trouble. 10 wand charges here, and he's going to look for a little bit more damage. He gets up to his own high ground. Bushwhack into the Anchor shot is good, but his damage will persist from the battery assault. It at least allows Annihilate to trade Oklahoma, but that was a static remnant, so he doesn't get the experience for the kill.
So there I want to say that he chose not to use the Fairy Fire, I think, because he knew he was dead anyway, and I think that was like the correct assumption. But if he had used the Fairy Fire, I believe he would have lived long enough to get the experience of that kill, right, on the Void Spirit. Yeah. And I think that might be more worth. I'm not sure. Again, Annihilate's the pro player. I don't want to get a quick for clip, but I do think that I do think that would have been a consideration for him. I don't think the Fairy Fire is going to be that useful, especially once you hit 6.
Okay, now the Bushwhack here. Kill here would certainly give him level 6 as they interrupt the cast animation of the stun. It's still going to come through eventually, however, in Oklahoma already up to level 6, continuing to fight. There's now ball lighting ready for Annihilate. He's going to immediately put it to use and evade the incoming Clockwork.
Look at bottom, by the way. Dad! Oh no, Dad!
What is this?
Oh, he can't
What
get
is
away.
this?
He can't get... The body blocks are too good. He had to lose some beam speed, which didn't do anything to the tree, and so it was just spiteful lose some beam. Wow. Lose weight, boys. This is why. You don't want to get body blocked in life.
No, you don't. No, you do not. That was very, very well played there on the micro. They're going to be looking for Thana now as well, as Speed closes the gap. He's got level and Sprout, but with Ziz losing most of his HP there to the level 2 battery assault. Sorry, make that Rocket Barrage and an Arcane Rune ready to go. They will choose not to fight into this Gyro. Although, he's not going to really be willing to give him a choice, as the Cogs buys Ziz a bit of time. It forces a second Ball Lightning, which leaves Annihilate very low on mana, but there's no rotations here to punish, and the stacks will be denied. Or the stacking is going to be denied. There's already one stack of Ancients, but Clock was going to stack again.
Yep. Yeah. That act of stacking, that individual act of stacking.
Yes.
I like this. I don't know. I was going to congratulate Ziz because he went for Infused Raindrops, which against Gyrocopter 5 is really clever if you guys ever have to deal with this, because it won't trigger Rocket Barrage. It'll always trigger Homing Missile, and that actually saved him over there. But then I Annihilate, sorry. Good rotation, manages to kill him. The thing, though, is Annihilate was hoping that the supports would rotate so he could guarantee runes, stuff like that. The 2 kills earlier did not work too well for him. Now he's more on recovery mode with these kills. And what was a good lane for Storm Spirit, he still actually won, if you look at the net worth. He's doing pretty well, but the kills, unfortunately, balanced it more in an equal favor for Oklahoma here. I still think Annihilate will pop off. Usually he's very good at using this like early tempo. He's an old guy. He's been playing Dota forever. So he's not the kind of mid laner that asks for people to do things for him. He goes and rotates. He makes the use of the like 3-4 minute power spike Storm Spirit has, and then he will go and farm and be a real core. And
so far so good, right? He did take that early death, but well, 2 kills straight after, of course, because his first was immediately traded after his initial death. So I won't really count that one. But there's 2 kills for him already. Farming in the enemy jungle. He's going to TP on home. And he's doing A-OK so far. And this is kind of what I was referring to, right? Dad just able to force away the Treants down bottom, right? He's not a Treant killing machine yet, but it's going to stop Speed from being ultra efficient.
I mean, he did go for the, like, I'm forgoing lane, I'm just going to farm jungle.
Yeah.
Like Lunar Blessing into Moonclave's build, so I think this is the right way to go. And I also like that he went for this, this is the, I'll always mention it, Ector build, right? Where you actually go for the cheapest stats and you don't upgrade at all. Slippers of Agility actually much more efficient than the Wraith Band in terms of gold. Obviously, the item slot's not so great. And then he goes directly for Bands of Elven Skin into the Dragonlance. So as opposed to the Mask of Madness that makes you more vulnerable to ganks, even though you're a bit faster at farming, you use this build and with the right efficiency, you get similar speeds.
Yep.
So well done.
And Wraith Bands, of course, they're totally out for agi carries, especially. This is going to die.
Yeah.
Nice job there. Power Rune is going to spawn. Oh, it's denied by the Warden. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, so just looking for the ultra efficiency. They're going to look for Speed now. He looks to rotate on over. Speed with some more boys, though, is going to go in and summon some more Treants. A whole lot of them now.
By the way, Sunlight, who's currently dubbed MMR Tourist, he is going straight Blade Mail on Legion Commander.
Oh, okay. This time, Avo and LC is going to be building a Blade Mail.
Yes, in case you guys missed yesterday's cast, we were wondering if LC built a Blade Mail at all because there was a lot of uncontrollable damage. She chose not to. In this game, we will see it, even though I can't really see that much uncontrollable damage. Void Spirit aside.
Yeah, and Speed is still going for the Orchid, by the way, so you know we'll keep that in mind. I suppose that's a way for you not to die to these early rotations from Speed, right? He's not going to be too incentivized to right-click to death an LC if she is all spiky from that Blade Mail.
Yeah, but I mean, sure, but you can just stop clicking into something else instead. Thana comes in, there's a duel, or they're attempting to go for a dual kill. They will get the kill, not the duel though, unfortunately.
Yeah, really hard for Clockwork to play the drums like that, you know, with his short, stubby arms. So Oklahoma's going to get that +1 kill there onto Thana, and even get a D-ward.
No. I just don't. I just think the Blade Mill, like against the Terrorblade, is not going to do too well because Terrorblade, there's a lot of spread damage. You can always stop attacking you. I feel like NP can also swap targets. I know he's a single target killing machine. I don't think his target primarily would be Legion. Maybe you just Orchid her to prevent the spell, and then you go for something else. Honestly, it's not that hard to swap.
Okay, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm not the biggest fan of the first item. I would have actually liked the armlet more because that allows you to tank the NP more efficiently while still allowing him to concentrate on you, right? Which is what you want.
Yeah,
I think
I also don't really see the point of it because I'm not sure how exactly he's going to use this item to play with the Storm in the early game, right? Because Luna's going to need a bit more space before she can join. I mean, especially with this build, right, that Dad has opted to go for. This is a full farming build, not really a fighting build whatsoever. So, yeah, I agree. Like, Armlet, maybe even a Blink I would have preferred to see secondarily to the Armlet. But, yeah, just...
No, I think Blink first is always bad. I'd rather have Blade Mail than Blink. You need stats as Legion, so I'd rather have Blade Mail. Because I see his logic here as being, if I duel NP, he will kill himself because he's a class cannon. Right. If I duel the Terrorblade, especially early, he might actually, this might aid killing him. So I can see that, especially at canceling speed. Yeah, not against it, but I do think there were better options if you consider the whole spectrum. But if you're looking at MP alone, I can see if you always have the initiation and you can attack him, and he goes for a glass cannon build, and all these things fall into place, then you should go later.
Speed off to a good start. Speaking as such, of course, we just here in the game is there's a hook shot bottom.
Fire Blast, they catch a Storm Spirit with the Assimilate. Annihilate has the last ball lightning jump though. He's going to be perfectly fine. In fact, he has full mana. He could reinitiate, but the question is how much courage do you have today, Annihilate? Apparently not enough.
Well, they are going to smoke. I wonder where they're looking to head. They could reach top barely with this smoke, but yeah, they're going to go ahead and turn around and perhaps head into the enemy triangle or look for Oklahoma, who's continuing to farm this wagon. He has got an Astral Step, but only the one, as there's the jump in. Acorn shot into the Bushwhack will catch him. And they've got the burst magic damage there to easily take him down.
Albino Zebra, what are you doing here?
Wants to clear the wagon.
All down used. They silenced the Annihilate though, so he can't jump onto Zebra. And in fact, Zebra is joining them as well. The Bushwhack does not hit speed, which allows him to kill off Annihilate pretty simply, just with a simple Orchid reveal. And that's a dead Storm.
Oh, Clockwork's going to play the drums here, only for a couple of seconds. This time Sunlight will be able to get that dual victory, 10 damage, and that's Blade Mail now on the way. Pretty major difference there between that first kill attempt on the Storm and the second was that Albino Zebra was level 6. One simple multicast there on the Fire Blast, even though they probably had him anyway, easily secures the kill this time around. That's why it's important to get some XP on your supports, ladies and gentlemen. Level 6, big power spike for these guys. Don't forget.
Yep.
Just one wave can get you a support to level 6, guys. You can sponsor one support by just...
I mean, not one wave, right?
Well...
You need lots of ways.
Yeah,
That's the whole problem.
one book.
And these supports... Look, okay, this support comes to my lane, and he's expecting handouts, right? I'm like, support, find your own farm, right? And he just talks about the system and how it doesn't work for him because he's a poor 5. Mate, it's none of my business, none of my problem. Find your level 6.
You know what I used to say to these supports now these days? You got it good. Back in my day, I would have to buy the courier, 200 gold, upgrade the courier immediately. I would get flamed, and my cores would destroy their items if it was not flying immediately at 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
I was lucky if I had brown boots at 10 minutes.
Yeah. Nowadays, supports can read. You know what a privilege that is? They got a whole tome for themselves. Back then, we just used to look like pictures. We didn't know what tomes were. We didn't have any experience.
2,000 net worth on the losing supports? That would be a winning support back in the day. My goodness.
Disgusting.
You guys have it so good now with your free observer wards and 50 gold centuries.
I think Sunlight, he's going to be giving MR a little bit here.
Yeah.
To the enemy team, though.
No dual damage.
And it seems like the rest of KBU is in trouble because they have an MP. They are not scared of your tower. They know will fall immediately. The Hoodwink has decided to go as far into the trees as possible. And unlike Bambi, this will end pretty decently for him. Whereas the tower will fall. And the advance from Electronic Boys continues. I mean, look, the way they're playing the TB is probably the best way for this match, and the build is fantastic. SNY, I'm assuming we're going to see an early PKB as well, and this will allow E-Boys to just put a lot of pressure in terms of objectives as Speed continues his onslaught. Catch the Annihilate, he's been silenced. The Orchid Soulburn will kill off Annihilate.
It's a pretty big one as well, because Annihilate here is going for an Orchid of his own, so the more that they delay this, part of me, obviously the worst is going to end up for the Storm Spirit because he did have that 2-3 minute power spike like you were talking about just by the nature of him reaching level 6 and having really powerful spells. But now he's going to take a death. He's going to lose his tier 1 tower. Lots of space deleted from the map for him to finish farming this item safely.
Speed's kind of carrying, not gonna lie. Like, his team is doing well, right? But he has been a driving force. Him and Ziz, though, gotta give a lot of credit to this Clock. He's been playing really well. Like I said, right, that lane went so well for them that this is the win condition. If the lane goes well, you just gotta snowball off control with your push. And Thana is now the target. They also see more Sunlight, Dissimulate, and I think this Legion might just die. No, they duel the Void Spirit, and he gets the dual damage off. In fact, they killed 3 heroes thanks to Annihilate jumping in last second, and the Wrath of Nature won't find Legion Commander because the Vision just barely disjointed towards the end.
Yeah, very, very nice. I'm very glad that I waited to say what I was going to say because then they immediately all died. But E-Boys, what I've always noticed from them is that their 3, 4, and 5 all play spectacularly together. It's actually pretty incredible that the way they manage to find farm and the amount of space that they just create for Murdoch. I mean, we've seen him show up on the TB here now and then as he will fight mid lane here. Speed in a bit of trouble as he does TP in quite aggressively. He's actually going to get hit by both call down missiles, but he's still alive on a hair of HP. Glave's bouncing around, are going to leave him A-OK. However, his Oklahoma jumps onto the back lines, will take down MMR Tourist. Sunlight is down for the count. Thana running for his life, running. Yule Scepter used aggressively, and they kill him with the Yule Scepter damage. A 2-for-1 trade, and that's going to be the tier 1 tower defended for E-Boys.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Okay. Once again, I mean, that play worked well for KBU, but then immediately they go and show that E-Boys just don't win in the game after all. KBU, I think, still need the Luna to kind of come online. She's very close. The BKB is going to be the big turning point here. Whereas Murdoch, you know, TB usually you wouldn't say he comes to line this early, but his SNY plus his aggressive playstyle and the use playing around his metamorphosis has allowed E-Boys to be the aggressor for the early game. Obviously, they also have much better vision control, and I think that's been a big deal here. Between Clockwork and NP, you compare this to nothing. Nothing that KVU has. I guess Legion face checks you sometimes, right? And Hoodwink exists, but it's nothing compared to the MP Clockwork duel.
Annihilate now with his Orchid completed after that mid lane fight, so keep an eye out for that first reveal as once again Clockwork forced to play the drums, plenty of magic damage and a long range zip from Annihilate, and there's going to be no Orchid quite yet. Oklahoma making the jump in. Yule Scepter is going to be for the Storm Spirit, but he gets Orchid at speed as well with the simultaneous Orchid, and Oklahoma with the haste turn easily avoiding all the damage here. He's going to be able to turn and fight speed with 3 kills now. They might make it 4, but Oklahoma is going to secure that last one onto the Warden. And just an awkward place to fight there. KBU thought they would have been A-okay taking a fight close to their tier 2 tower, but 4 heroes there for the E-Boys suddenly. They easily take that fight.
Yeah. Feel that they're forcing this way too hard, right? Like they're playing without the Luna, they're trying to create space for it at this point, but oh, Dad, I actually been found out. There's the Orchid, Sprout as well. Dad does have a Quelling Blade though. Dad will also dispel the silence, but Oklahoma's here with the Yule Scepter, gets the Aether Remnant properly. Nice job there, Oklahoma.
Yeah, and Murdoch wastes no time. I think a lot of core players would just, you know, pop meta and then delete this tier 2 tower. But no, he actually ends up joining this engagement. He rotates along with the rest of his team, and that might be rewarded here as E-Boys, they have got their eyes set for a bigger objective than a tier 2 tower, and that's going to be first Roche.
This first, well, there's going to be a bit of a contesting by Annihilate. Just fighting Xiz alone, though. Okay, they just shot the sharpshooter on the call down, I guess, for threatening purposes. Yeah, scary, scary.
A little bit of saber rattling. All the ultis are, well, a couple of ultis are through. Annihilate
I don't think it scared them. Oh, okay, it scared them enough to leave, actually. Yeah, meta is about to end, and Murdoch's like, I don't want to fight if meta's not up. Which, by the way, this discipline by E-Boys has been the key factor in their victory right now. They've been just playing really well around this meta, and this has made the TB look stronger than he is in the early game. Also abusing the fact that Luna does take a little bit to come online. She is a death ball kind of hero, but until she gets her items, she's not really ready to fight. And it's very important that Luna hits her timings, much like a TA, for example, because if she doesn't, then she just kind of falls off as she constantly fights. She is well known for her farming skills. And that's what E-Boys has been abusing really well, particularly Speed and his MP, but also the team in general.
Luna also,
Speed even went for drums for extra pushing power.
You think this is what the anime season 2 is going to be like? You know, they're just both farming in the jungle, and they're going to come out and see whoever has the most net worth. I mean, I've got BKB, and then TB's going to be, I don't care, I already have Scotty. Good luck catching up to me now, Luna. And then anime music plays. I don't know, I don't watch anime.
So TV in the anime, he's more of like a possessing guy, right? He's like the evil dude. He's like he wants to get inside everyone and wants to possess everyone. Whereas Luna just wants to murder everything. So I guess farming is more suited to her, right? Like, cause just kills everything in sight. Ally, enemies, whatever, genocide.
Neutral. Oh, good duel here. Blink dagger
That's
reveal
right.
as well. That'll get a kill. A little bit of bonus damage, pardon me, for Sunlight. Annihilate a little bit lower on mana, but he finds an Arcane Root in the river, so he's going to be joining this fight. Speed pops his BKB. He's going to be able to TP away. Lots of damage, but not enough. As, Annihilate just a bit too slow there on the zip on in. Hook shot for Xiz to try and create a bit more of a gap between himself and the Storm, and that'll do the trick. So it's only going to be Oklahoma taking a dive there in this fight.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about in the draft, right? They have a really good hunting squad. I haven't really... they've used it maybe once or twice, but I don't think they've abused it as much as I'd like. Partially because the counter initiation by E-Boys have been so strong. They're struggling at picking off just single heroes. But now E-Boys is losing the plot a little bit, and they might lose the Ogre Magi as well, and Annihilate happy to take this kill. Yep. And he will get it with Soul Burn in addition to a duel that goes for the MP. This is a really big one, as Speed will die. They get a Godlike Streak for Annihilate. A lot of recovery. He's happy to die for this, even though ideally he choose not to. He avoids the Aether Remnant because it's Sunlight who tanks it for him. Annihilate TPs.
No,
will this tanking be in vain? Wow. Well done, Sunlight. What a true teammate. Tanking the Aether Remnant for his mid laner. And Dad is a real carry, comes late to the fight, doesn't do anything, and just proceeds to fight.
It's true. Dad has BKB, though, so he's a pretty threatening presence here.
He is.
So that's going to stop E-Boys from chasing further, even though they did actually end up committing the Metamorphosis for this. So pretty big fight here. Big turn of events for KBU. Momentum, not so much shift. Well, it has shifted in the sense that, you know, it was mostly in favor of E-Boys. Now it's a little bit more neutral here with the items coming online for KBU, and them being able to play off of the back of some of these more aggressive wards, even though they are dewarded now. They've served their purpose. And, MMR Tour, Sunlight looking for another duel onto Oklahoma. You know, not a whole lot of tourism money onto to Oklahoma, but No more tourists. Sunlight certainly wanted to make a trip on over. Speed this time caught again by the duel, killed through his BKB charge. That'll be effective. Dad's going to use his BKB as Oklahoma is hit by the homing missile and the sharpshooter taken down and killed. Annihilate stunned up underneath the tier 2 tower, but no follow-up damages here. There is no metamorphosis, so TB, he's better off just farming in the triangle, which is what he's doing. And KBU take another big fight here, Avo.
You see, this is the Luna that your high-marked friend tells you to worry about, right? This is it. This is what you've been waiting for the whole time. A real carry. And now they can actually go and bunch up. Not only is their kill potential still very high, because, again, they have a really good ganking squad, but now they actually have objective taking potential much easier, and they can go and snowball like this, or death ball, like a Luna does. And Uncharted Boys need to switch gears a little bit, because right now you're entering KBU territory. You're at the point where Murdoch would probably like to...
Or Annihilation's going to die.
That is also a possibility. I spoke.
You did
nonsense.
speak.
I spoke nonsense
Yeah.
for a while. Just kill Storm, lol. I mean, how was that hard?
Yeah.
Honestly. Just fight him with a Fire Blast, easy.
Okay, and the DD rune is well active here for Murdoch. Quarter of its duration remaining. Speed does not have a full Deso nor the AC, so they're just relying on the DD rune and the Bloodlust, and of course all the physical damage to get them through this Roche. And you know what? That'll do. That'll do. Just fine here. 23 minutes on this Aegis, or 23 minutes for first Aegis to fall. And now our anime antagonist is covered with a second life, as well as this full Eye of Scotty.
Yeah, he's not really an anime antagonist, because if you think about it, anime antagonists tend to have a lot of like fan fiction written about them, and I have not seen any TB fan fiction. So.
Oh boy, my friend, do I have a subreddit for you?
Is it our Dota2?
Haha, not quite.
Not quite.
That's where all the tsundere Luna stuff is going to be here in just a bit. Okay, a bit of split pushing here is set to be punished. Sunlight is going to go down speed as well, taking a dive. Is just barely alive, but sets up for both kills and is going to live through it. Is Luna more of a yandere or a tsundere? Which one, huh? What do you think?
I don't know. Look, I have a little bit of a weeb, but I'm not that much of a weeb. I don't know what those words mean.
Okay.
I think they're both strong women of some kind.
That's the only
but
weeb,
like,
weeb words I
one
know.
of them is a murderous woman, and the other one is not, and I'm not really sure why. Because people always fantasize about them, and I don't know why you would want to be with someone that kills people. So I've had a hard time understanding that part of it.
Well, because Abo, she would kill for you.
Yeah, I don't want that, though. Like, I would rather she solves problems by talking. Like, if I have a fight with my boss, right, I don't want her to be like, oh, you want me to murder him? No, you crazy psychopath. Please don't talk to him. You know, it's not a good thing. It's a liability in your life.
Yeah, I mean...
I can murder my own people. I don't need someone to do it for me.
I mean, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I think some people see a lot of strength in that, you know, particularly if you're Salamene, you know, I think you're a pretty big fan of Luna's murderous tendencies. You don't have to get your hands dirty. You're just like, hey, go ulti over here. And Luna's like, okay.
That's a good point, actually. I guess gods can't really murder people, right? They can only condition others to murder people, which make them really weak, if you think about it.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Dota, Dota Dragon's Blood Season 2, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to
It's coming up
a
soon,
Netflix
guys. You know,
to you.
it's what's going to save the game.
Yes, and
Speed is going to be finishing up in this Alcaraz soon. I think that's going to be the point that we'll be fighting on. This Alcaraz plus Butterfly timing on Murdoch. Dad doesn't want to wait for that. Dad wants to fight, obviously. The right choice. Thana here. They find a Clockwork.
Oklahoma.
And the duel as well. The duel is much more important
Wow.
here. Yep. Kill Oklahoma. Well done. 2 kills. But Murdoch just goes forward. He still has the Aegis. Dad can still contain the Eclipse. Where's Speed? Albino Zebra has been caught. Albino Zebra will die. Holy Missile still chasing after Murdoch, but he found the haste rune. Look at this TV. Look how cute he is when he runs.
Radiant's top
I would make
tower
fan
is
fiction
under
out of this.
attack.
Speed doing Speed things as he has the tower encircled. These treants literally can't even find a path to destroy this tower, but down it goes. Dad's going to be a little bit too late, and even still, he's going to struggle to get through all of these treants. My
Radiant's top
goodness.
tower is under attack.
They're-
Murdoch keeps getting stuck. They really want to kill Murdoch, but they're afraid of committing and getting punched by Speed, right?
Man, Murdoch's so low as well. It's tantalizingly close, but everyone's responding from you boys. KBU, I think they've seen this one before. They do not want to fall prey here to this trap. Speed in the line of fire here as Sunlight doesn't quite catch a glimpse of him, but he's heading in the right direction. Oh,
It's nighttime. Nighttime just saved Speed. He didn't see Sunlight either.
No, it was close.
Oh, now he saw him. Speed go into the trees.
Albino Zebra's
Already?
here.
No, never mind. He's actually going to be able to get the kill. Hey, it's your boy Speed. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Speed. Taken down.
I was not expecting that whatsoever. Oh, wow. That was Hoodwink alone. There was no help from anyone else. Hoodwink plus Blade Mail, I suppose. There's the use of the Blade Mail for you. It's like Legion is like the mama bird, right? And she softens up the NP for Hoodwink to eat.
I suppose so. Although,
Yep.
yeah, I suppose so. 1,000 damage there from Blade Mail, not bad. Sunlight saying to Speed, put this one in your game loop tutorial.
This is how you counter NP.
Yeah.
Absolutely broken. All right, so they decide not to push because, of course, Speed is not there. That's a good choice. Dad also showed off his Daedalus, and that's very scary. He also went for the Enchantment Core plus Shard.
Ooh.
Always a lovely combination. You know, he's fucking nerfed the Shard as much as he can, but in the end, especially when you get this neutral, it just becomes kind of broken.
Yeah, which is shocking, right? Because Earthshaker had a little bit of fun during TI with the Fae Grenade, and then Ice Frog's like, yeah, that one's got to go. But this one's totally cool, I guess. Enchanted.
What was Earthshaker with Fae?
So if you enchant totems and then you threw Fae Grenade, back when Fae Grenade applied one of your attacks, you would get a free
right, you
enchant
hit the
totem.
enchant totem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, but that's wild. That was stupid. Don't do that. Earthshaker can't be a good hero. Obviously, we know.
Well, Earthshaker can only be good for TI. TI's over, that means he's got to be bad.
I don't think that's true. I am down with Jenkins' theory that TI meta just leads to team fights because people want to be closer to each other in times of need. I'm not even joking. He said this on a panel, dude, on a TI. I think he was right.
Oh, that's great.
That is the smartest thing I've heard anyone say on panel in a long, long time.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. You know, that could be. That could be. I mean,
He was so good. He went in the whole psychology speech about it. It was like 5 whole minutes. I didn't even cut him off, and that was Jenkins, you know. So
yeah.
I thought it was on point.
All the Valve execs in your ear. Hey, what the heck? Stop this guy from talking. He's making too much sense.
Yeah, but then halfway through, everyone's like, he's a genius. Let him speak. Let him speak the gospel of truth. So yeah, then I had to let him. Anyway, Electronic Boys. I don't think they're really threatened by this. I mean, this whole time I think it was on KBU's court to do something.
Oh, Speed just.
Now they just lost Speed. There we go. That's doing something.
Yeah.
Speed did take a tower, but
At what cost, Speed?
yeah. I do find that E-Boys doesn't need to do this, though. Like, you just win with Terrorblade alone, right? Maybe they're more afraid of the Luna than we can muster. Or the Storm, rather. They lose this immediately. Storm. And I was like, well, I guess I'll take a support. If there's nothing else.
Yeah, he uses his BKB for that. 9-second duration. You know, it doesn't feel amazing. Doesn't feel too bad. You basically force Oklahoma to, run with his tail between his legs as he uses all of his spells defensively there. So, but could have been a little bit better as well. Oklahoma, who, by the way, does have this Scepter online. But Dad with Daedalus is mostly, I think, the force to be reckoned with. BKB, double damage in the inventory. What?
You just forced that in.
What do you mean?
100%. The Daedalus? Okay. All right. Anyway, I agree. He is a force to be reckoned with. I do think TB beats him, but I find that maybe they're more afraid of Annihilate because, as you said, Void Spirit is he's capped at one point, right? You know, no cap, Storm Spirit gets capped. But in the case of Void Spirit, but in the case of Storm Spirit, I think he just endlessly scales, and they're more afraid of that, especially as Annihilate becomes tankier and harder to burst down. And maybe that's why Speed has decided to rat Dota a bit more. And it could also be just a thing of Thena. Call down. We have a duel. They're gonna find Murdoch.
This is a kill.
He doesn't have any H's anymore.
Murdoch.
That's just a free kill on Murdoch. Okay, this is option number 2. Maybe they're losing the plot a bit because they lost a couple of team fights that they should have won, and now they're a bit stressed out and they're defaulting into basic Dota.
Yeah.
And basic Dota is not great in competitive.
And KBU, they were expecting a much bigger fight here. Like, Dad pops his BKB. He pops, I mean, the double damage sure is fine, right? But he was clearly expecting more of a commitment. Annihilate is willing to give that to him, though. Orchid on Orchid action. Of course, Annihilate with a BKB. What? He's going to be free to just continue killing.
And it's so dangerous when you do this against a Luna. I mean, she has DD as well.
They're just going to end.
Yeah, Dad's like, you know what, guys? I think I'm gone.
Speed.
But they forgot there's no creeps.
What a gamer.
Oklahoma and Speed I mean, they did take the racks regardless, which shows the power of Luna, but at least they couldn't end the game. A single team fight, though, against a Luna that you lose, like, you get one more team fight like this, and Luna will just push your base. She is too strong. She's too fast at pushing. TP is okay, but usually now with the nerfs to meta, meta will end by the end of the team fight, right? Or close to. So you don't really get to use it to push towers as fast. Even with an MP, I do think Luna is the scarier choice here if you lose a fight, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree.
Not for the, like, not at maybe 50, right? But right now, minute 30. I definitely think that's.
Do you think Speed gets faster eventually with his?
Yeah. I mean, it's his name, right? He gets more ease.
Well, his name is Speed. His name is not Momentum.
Wow. Well, well done. Physics joke, huh?
Yeah, I got you, dude.
Diversifying our repertoire.
I can do physics jokes, dude.
Yeah, I also agree because he went for Scythe of Light, supposed to like say more carry-ish items. This is the right choice, by the way, but it will not allow him to push any faster.
Casual little bit of initiators just kind of, you know, touching gloves there essentially with both Sizz and Sunlight refusing to really commit. Smoke play out from E-Boys as the smoke will now break. And we'll be able to get right through on him. Okay, Murdoch just jumps in a little bit alone again, and they will blow him up again with a dual avo. Oklahoma does his best to get in there, but everyone's BKB'd, so his silences do nothing. Dad with a triple kill. They buy back here as well, but is that a Gleipnir? It's a full Gleipnir on the Warden.
Yeah. Yeah, he's had it for a little bit. You know what the best item KBU bought this game was?
What's that?
The Blink Dagger on Terrorblade has done so much for them.
It has.
It has been such a good pickup, honestly. What a thought. They hexed up the Legion Commander. She could die here, but Dad wants to fight to the end. Wants to kill Speed, possibly. Can he get him? Lucent Beam for a little bit of extra damage. Uses the Spider Legs as well, but Speed...
Oh my goodness.
Not saved by the high ground. The last Lucent Beam burst him. Of course, no need for the Enchanted Quiver here if you got Spider Legs.
Yeah.
There's the laugh. There's the laugh any Peruvian player knows and is scared of. That's Dad. Oklahoma joins him. We don't have BKB anymore. No Satanic either. No defensive items. They do have Force Theft though on the Gyro and Lotus Orb as well. Thana got for full utility here and actually worked really well for him.
And there's just no chance to really make the jump. BKB's coming online very, very shortly here for Annihilate. Second Roche is up. That'll be scouted now by the Rocket Flare. E-Boys, they would really like to get the second Roche, but even then, Murdoch, I suppose, would, I don't know, just end up losing. He's not been doing well with his Blake Dagger, you know? He's just not been doing well with it.
He's been struggling. I think most of the time the problem that they have is he's kind of the one who's the front line and the damage right at the same time. Because Speed can't really do that just because he's MP. Nice blocking the smoke by Thana. It is worth his life.
Dad?
And he's not even gonna lose it.
Dad?
Oh, it's not worth Dad's life though. BKB.
Satanic.
Yeah, Satanic too. Dad. Yeah, I think Satanic already. They're actually gonna kill a TB.
Murdoch?
Once again.
No saves.
Murdoch's just gonna die. Dad fighting against Speed in the backline. Speed's closing his own sprout. The activates BKB does nothing. Speed's dead.
I reckon that's it here. Ziz is going to be once again going down. It's a dieback for him here. A dieback for Speed. Albino Zebra can't even make it out. His dad, he's going to break out the critical strike there on the last one.
Yeah, so I think that TB has to fulfill too many functions.
Look at this.
Game.
He even got Oklahoma with the duel.
Did they kill him?
Yeah, he's going to be drumming away.
Yeah, so I think TB has to fulfill too many... look, I'm not going to excuse his plays. I do think some of his Blink Daggers are way too hasty. But I think the reason why he's doing this is because he has to fulfill too many roles. He's the frontliner who has to give vision when Clockwork and NP's trees are not ready, right? He's also the main damage dealer, carry, obviously. Nobody else can fulfill these roles. They maybe should have built save, though. Yeah, there's a GG. Yeah. I think the lack of save here, the Aether Lens on Ogre, for example, or with a Blade Mill on Clockwork were very selfish items, and you had nothing, no Force Staffs, no Glimmers, nothing to save a TB that was in a bad position. Speed was building Initiation, that's fine, but I would have liked for someone else to build anything to help out this TB, especially once they realized his role in this game was